Nigel Farage arrives back in England after appearing on I'm in a Celebrity show in Australia, and he gets an invite to the House of Commons bar. Anyway, he goes there and walks in with a crocodile, a saltwater crocodile, and people say, what on earth's that? And he says, don't worry, he said, the Aborigines have trained this crocodile not to attack humans. He said, it's perfectly docile, it's perfectly okay. So he's, what, crocodile? He said, well, watch this. So anyway, he undoes his trousers, gets the old fella out, and shoves his wedding tackle in between the crocodile's jaws. Then he gets a tray and bashes the crocodile over the head, and the crocodile cringes but doesn't close its jaws. And everybody sort of gasped. And he said, look, I'm willing to give £1,000 to anybody that's prepared to do this. And there's a hushed silence. And suddenly Diane Abbott at the back of the bar calls out, she said, well, I'm prepared to do it, providing you don't bash the tray over my head. And that's what. Good evening. And of course, tonight we've got was it Truth Seekers Northeast?
Yeah.
That's right, isn't it? So, and we've got Maureen and Dawn.
Yes.
And their mother and daughter. So,
yes.
Is that nice? So can you guess who's the mother and
we look nothing alike, obviously.
That's it.
Nothing.
And of course, we've got our guest star, our host, of course, which is Fred the Spider Plant, who's off the set at the moment, but he's sitting there, as usual, like that, you see. So tonight, and we're hanging on by a thread, thanks to YouTube. And they're such nice people. They want to keep us safe. I don't know quite what from, though. They said, we've got to keep us safe, so who knows? But very quick banner I'll shove up. And when we get on with the show, if anything goes down, if this goes tits up or anything, excuse my language, this is, if I'm shut down by you, please see my website, fock'emallradio.com.
Fock'emall.
Fock'emall, you see, yes. And or my BitChute, Odyssey, or Rumble channels, you see. I can't put links because the psychopaths in PukeTube have turned my links off. I know it's very painful. I'm taking tablets for it. And also what they've done, they're such nice people. If someone sends me a nice comment, I can't reply. So if you want to comment, okay, do it on BitChute, please. And you'll find the link to it in my website, fock'emallradio.com. Yes, and I think they're going to have a clear out of sites next year. It seems they're going to go. And they even took, that, was it History Debunked, that old bloke, young man, the bloke that speaks on History Debunked. They even took him down for a week. And he gets away with a hell of a lot of stuff. So,
yeah, me.
Anyway, I believe, Dawn, you've actually written a book that we're going to talk about tonight, which would I be saying that it's like Bob Proctor, was it How to Manifest a Life? I think that's that, a life of pleasure. Noel Wilkinson.
That's your fourth one, isn't it?
Yeah, I done 3 books before that, but they were all about how to sell on eBay. So then I started getting into manifestation, and Bob Proctor's a big influence. So he's actually probably part of the inspiration for this book. It's basically different principles for each letter of the word pleasure. So do you want us to give you some examples?
Yes, please.
Right, so P, we've got please yourself. So you know how some people think, oh, well, please yourself's an insult. It's like, oh, well, you're selfish. And people say, oh, please yourself. So it's an insult. But it's actually, I think we need to change the way we look at it and think, well, to please yourself, you're number one, really, aren't you, in your life? No one else is going to put you number one the way you can put yourself number one. Pack it in. So we've all got bad habits that affect our health or our mental health, or we hang around people who are bad for us. So it's basically pack things in that are having a negative impact on your life. Play out. which basically socialize with people who bring you joy, who you feel nice when you're around them. So you want to be around people who raise your vibration. Personal responsibility is basically just owning any mistakes you make, and I'm trying to. But you know what? Rather than people take, people blame other people when things go wrong for them. Well, personal responsibility is basically, well, look at what you could learn from this and how you're going to avoid making the same mistakes in the future.
There's no such thing as a mistake, though, is there? It's only a mistake.
Well, it's just a mistake
if you do it more than once. It's not a mistake once because you think, oh, I've learnt from that.
Yeah.
So to me, because let's face it, learning is a series of mistakes to make. You can't tell me that. Let's shall we say a ballerina, the first time they ever did it, they didn't make a, they weren't crap at it. They had to practice before they became good at it, didn't they? Really.
Perspective. So this is the big one. Change your perspective, change your reality. And I think, and I know you think there's a lot of people quite negative at the minute.
Yes.
What's happening there? And it's all about changing your perspective. So we could look over the last 3 years and think this has been horrendous what's happened. But for me personally, it's changed my life. And we've met so many wonderful people because of what's happened over the last 3 years. So I look at the perspective, it's made life far more exciting.
Is it a challenge or an opportunity?
Prioritize, pay for prioritize. So be stress-free when you learn how to prioritize things. L is for laugh. So I'm a big lover of comedy. Who's your favourite comedian?
I would say Dave Allen.
I like Dave Allen. So I always try to find the funny in something. So I think during the first year of the thing we're not going to talk about, 3 years ago, I found myself wanting to watch comedies to raise my vibration because everything was keeping me negative. And they were trying to take everything away from what they brought with joy. So, and L is for learn. So, like you said, every day is a school day. You can learn something new every day. Live the life you want. That was based on, we went to see Derren Brown's show a couple of years ago. And he said the number one regret on people who were, on their deathbed, the number one regret was, I wish I had lived the life I wanted and not the life others wanted for me.
Spot on.
That resonated. So I thought, live the life you want. Stop doing everything to please other people and worrying about what other people think of you. L is for love life. So appreciate every day, every morning, saying thanks for your life. Because apparently we all agreed to come here. So I was thinking, well, you should try and make the best of it. Live without limits. I hate when people put labels on themselves and
I'm too old. Or
if you put limits on yourself, you're basically giving you an excuse not to do what you want to do because it's like you're just limiting your opportunities. Let it go. From this film Frozen, the song Let It Go. So that's all about empowerment. So it's about just letting things go, letting bitterness go, don't have regrets, and just face your fears. Because I think that's what holds a lot of people back, fears in life. Listen, like you're doing now. Listening. And E is for encourage. So a lot of times we pick fault with other people, but we don't always encourage them.
Encourage yourself.
And encourage yourself, yeah. Oh, this is a big one. And this is very important, actually. Expectations of others lead to disappointment. Sometimes we expect too much of other people. And when they let you down, it hurts you. But if we didn't have high expectations of them in the first place, we wouldn't get hurt. So
Correct.
just expect as little as possible from people, and then when they do something that is good for you, or then it's better for you, isn't it?
Well, not everybody.
And not
lives up to
everybody.
your
This is it.
standards,
We've got different standards, and not everybody's as confident.
Evening, Ralph.
E is for express yourself, because I've got a confession to make. I'm a big Madonna fan.
But not the Madonna. That's right. Not
What do you think of Madonna?
Well, she was all right before she had an airline shoved up her nose.
I don't know what the hell's going on now.
I think that she might have had a plastic surgeon. There was a little bit
I think maybe
magic mushrooms.
I don't know if it's her.
I don't know what's going on with Madonna.
No.
But there's a line in Express Yourself, and it's don't go for second best.
Correct.
You deserve the best in life. So that resonates with us. So I think I do like Madonna's music. I'm not gonna stop liking Madonna's music. Emotions are not a sign of weakness, so sometimes we'll bottle things up, thinking that it makes we look weak if we cry, but sometimes it's just showing people the human side of you.
I like crying with laughter, though. That's what
Empathy, so have empathy for others. Empowerment, just to gain confidence in your life and take opportunities. Exercise, which I think is very important, because we know that NHS is in crisis, so we need to start taking personal responsibility for our health. Because I don't know where you think things are going with the NHS, but I don't think it's going to be long before we have to pay for our health care.
Oh, that's actually on the line.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the things.
That would be for a show on my BitChute channel, not on there, because.
But I think, like,
another thing, yes.
You know, when we've got people looking on the negative side and saying, "Oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen." Well, why don't we start taking responsibility now and prepare ourselves and be in a better position?
Well, I think also what sums it up, there was a monologue by a chap, I think his name was Stanley Holloway, long before we were born, and it was called, and queer meant something different in those days. My words, you do look queer, meaning you look ill. And everywhere he went, people were telling him that he looked ill. And he was getting sicker and sicker and sicker until we met someone that said, "My word, you do look well. You've never looked so fit." And suddenly he felt well. And it's an old, he put it on YouTube, it's on there. Must have been done in the 40s, even before 30s, I don't know. But it's a very, very good, shall we say, monologue, because it tells you that you often, the way people reflect on you and tell you things is the way that you feel. And that, it's surprising, because if someone said something bad to you, it's like these trolls that enjoy saying bad things to people. I enjoy going bing, deleted. They don't know why they.
Can I just say hello to my friends, 2 dogs, because apparently they're watching me now, and one of them's crying because they love with the bits, and the other one's just staring at me. So hello, Tuco and Lalo.
And also, Krista Gardner has dogs. We could start a dog dating service, couldn't we, online? So, and it's Chris here, evening, Mr. Essex, very formal tonight. Evening chat, that's nice, isn't it? And we've got Stephen Truthseeker. Don't you know Stephen Truthseeker? Hello. And then we got
Stephen. I know Nathan.
Pete. And then we got Stig, who's actually in New Zealand. And no sheep jokes, please. Thank you. And we've got Cat Holly, evening all, Cat's regular. And then we've we said hello to Ralph. Hello, Ralph. And then we got Louise. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you very much. But good to see you as well. So Louise is on. And we've got Ancient Ruby. Hello, Ancient Ruby. Oh, you know Ancient Ruby. Then we've got Kaz.
Casper, that's our friend.
My puppies cannot believe they're both on telly. No wonder the poor dogs are
What your
crying.
puppies awake, Kaz?
Oh,
I'll
yes.
show you a picture of the two puppies.
That'd be nice. And then
They
we've
were
got
here last night.
Oh, Denise. Hello, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
Dies, and then we've got here. What else we got here? Let's have a quick shufty down. We got a lot in chat. Oh, are they nice?
That's Tuco and Lalo. Look,
Cuco and Lalo. That's a name, usually name.
They're drug dealers.
they're named after two drug dealers from Breaking Bad.
Ah,
Lalo and Tuco.
they're nice, aren't they? Oh, we've got Mark Anthony. No rude word, nothing about Cleopatra, please. Hello all. And then we've got here hiya Maury and Dawn. Good to see you on here. Been looking forward to it. That's good.
Yeah.
Right. It's actually because of Peter. I got my book out so quick because he asked us to do a conference, a talk.
So she got the
And
book done.
I got my book finished in time. So it was actually, he gave us the kick up the arse.
Right.
Boom.
Boom! Can I not swear?
You can swear, I don't give it. It's okay. Now, Dawn, can you put your fingers in your ear at the moment? Because Chris has said, I've got to agree with the general consensus in chat regarding Madonna. Nasty piece of work, probably eats babies for fun. So there we go.
I don't know.
I do. It's called jelly babies. Right. No, I don't actually eat jelly babies. I don't like them. They're all full of sweet stuff. And this is great. Has been sold off. We'll be deleting and going like US. Yes, spot on. Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to pay for our healthcare.
But I'll tell you one thing you won't get. You still have to pay national insurance.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the thing. But that's another question. That is again for the BitChute channel. It's like I'm going to do one on local councils.
I'm a pensioner, so I don't have to pay that.
Don't you? You're a what?
I'm a pensioner.
We don't have to pay national insurance.
I don't think so. I still work, but I don't think I pay national insurance.
Now we got here Ali Bev.
Oh, Scotland.
Wet and windy Scotland.
Yeah.
Now we got
We're
here
made up the borough of Scotland, don't we?
Daniel.
Oh, we are.
Man. Different language. Oh yes, it's Newcastle, isn't it? Yes. And hi Louise, living the dream. My booty. I ate all over from spending the day raking up leaves, but blissfully happy that I did and got paid for it. Hope you are well. Yes, that's nice, isn't it? Yes. But anyway, on with the show. So you were saying about
so go on to A.
Why not go on away?
Appreciate. Sometimes I think it's like you have to appreciate things. You have to say thank you to the universe, even for little things. So I once asked, I'm still asking the universe for the lottery.
It's not listening at the minute.
So anyway, I said to the universe, I said I want to win the lottery. So that night I won a lucky dip.
So you got to be specific.
So I said that's not what I meant, and then I thought, oh, that sounds a bit ungrateful. So I said, thank you for me lucky dip. Can we try harder for a bigger win? You see, and the next week I won another lucky dip, and then another lucky dip. It went on for months. Every draw I won a lucky dip. But part of it is you just got to keep saying thank you, be grateful, because I always think it's like if you give a child something and they go, well, I want a bigger bag of sweets, or I wanted this, or I wanted, you would just think, oh, that was spoiled brat. So you wouldn't want to give them any more, would you?
Well, that's it. But the more you have, the more you want. That's a strange thing in life. It is a bit weird, but I think we are sometimes the results of our parents, and sometimes
So A is for ask for help. I think a lot of people don't ask for help when they need it. They just suffer in silence, and which makes things worse. And I think the spiritual beings, I think it's in our nature that we want to help somebody when we can see they need help. You know, anxiety must be avoided. So we've got to try and eliminate as much stress out of our life as possible. So I tell everybody, turn the news off. Watch as very little TV as possible. Try not to watch it.
Tell live vision.
Well, it was called the Idiot's Lantern, wasn't it, when it was invented?
Right. Idiot's Magic Lantern.
Angel guidance. So I don't know. Are you a believer in angels?
Yes. I believe, well, my father believed he had a guardian angel over him during World War II. And I believe we do have, I like to believe I've got a guardian angel there. It's certainly got me out of a few sort of difficult situations. So, yes, it's surprising, you know. I think events happen that teach us things. And again, I don't believe there's such a thing as a disadvantage. We just learn from things
They're there for a reason.
They're there for a reason, yes. It's always a learning experience, I found. Happens in life.
We're seeing a lot of angel numbers recently, you know, like treble numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I always think they're signs from the universe.
Well, I'll tell you the weirdest one is 11, isn't it? 1111.
11.
People, you know the old digital clocks? I had one. Every time I looked at that bloody clock, it was always 1111. I don't know what it was. I haven't got a digital clock now, but when I used to have one, it was 1111. You know, I thought, what on earth? It was uncanny. It really was, you know. But
acts of kindness. So it's just, you know, every day you go out, just do something. It might just be a small gesture to somebody, but do something that's an act of kindness for a fellow man. And I don't know if you've seen that film Pay It Forward.
no,
With Kevin Spacey, and it was about like a social experiment where the little boy come up with this idea where he would help somebody, do something for somebody, then they would have to help 3 people, then them 3 people would have to help 3 people each, and it wasn't paying it back, it was paying it forward. And it's a good film.
I liked it, yeah.
Well, it's like I always believe if you find money, you pass it on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't keep it. It goes stale if you keep it, and if you pass it on again, you'll get even more.
Right.
So I do believe that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So when people buy coffee and things like that, I like to pass that on. I will never give to a charity ever.
No.
Pass it on to the individual that needs help, and one individual that needs help at the moment is Richard D. Hall.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So if you can send him a few bob,
we've already done it.
We have with the True Seeker group. We sent about a couple of hundred, didn't we?
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent because I think he is a real top journalist.
He's from up here.
I know he is. How would we have guessed that? I mean, could it be his accent? Could be a slight clue, you know?
She will state the obvious during this interview. She will state the obvious.
Her and John Hamer take the mick out of me.
She would tell him about.
Go on, tell him.
When we take John out in the car, right, she gives him a guided tour
of the bleeding obvious.
But it's a bleeding obvious tour, so she'll go, that's a bench, John, and that's the post box. You say, yes, I know, I didn't need you to tell us that. So, but she does stick a couple of touristy things in as well. This is an important one. Agree to disagree. You can't force your opinions onto somebody else. So sometimes you've got to just agree to disagree and move on from it.
Yes.
It's all about eliminating conflict, really.
If you want to stay friends with
If you want to stay friends with the person, agree to disagree. If you want to move on, then just say, look, we're not seeing eye to eye. Let's just move on from each other.
I agree with you.
Because something you've got to protect your energy. And we can't get on with everybody. And we can't help everybody. People have got to help themselves as well. So
They'll wake up in their own time, some people.
Analyse and apply logic, because I feel like the last 3 years, logic just in common sense went on holiday. Nobody was questioning things. Well, very few were, weren't they? But I think more people are questioning things now. S is for stick it out. So persevere with something. If it's what you really want to do, don't
Or pack it in.
well, it's
stick it out.
Some of them conflict with each other, but that's life, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So stand in your power, which I think we've all done over the last 3 years. We've stood by our principles and we've stood up for what we believe in. Silence is a virtue. Sometimes you have got to just keep quiet for your own sanity. I don't know if you've read The Art of War.
Yes.
Yes.
Zongzut.
Yeah. So there's a quote in there that says, "Silence is a source of great strength." So it's known when words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. Do you remember that Depeche Mode song?
No, I don't know the best.
Enjoy the silence, Depeche Mode. Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. So it's about assessing when you should speak up and when you should be quiet, basically.
I agree with you. That's why you have spelling, isn't it? Spells. You spell.
Words are spells, yeah.
So smile, and this is why one of the reasons I didn't like the face masks, because you couldn't see people's smiling, could you? Yeah. And how do you meet new people? You suss out whether they seem a friendly person when you look at them, and if someone smiles at you, you tend to smile back. So it was trying to bring back smiling at each other and get to know people. Sing and dance. I'm a big music lover, so it's all about putting happy songs on, raise your vibration. I love concerts, so ever since the 3 years ago, I'm probably not bothered with many concerts now. Madonna was the last person I've seen in concert.
But not recently.
In 2020. And it's probably the last time I've seen Madonna.
Go to this one, did you?
Seek knowledge, so try and learn something new, and accept that you don't know everything. We're always learning, and sometimes you may think you know everything about a subject, and then you find something else out that just completely blows everything out the water what you thought you knew. We've all discovered that, haven't we?
Well, one of the things you've recently learned is doing poetry.
Yeah, we started doing poetry,
and it's been fab.
Yeah, it's excellent, because poetry, I mean, most of these things are things that should come natural to us. But I think what's happened in the last few years is that we've had a lot of humanity sort of the guts ripped out of us in many ways, because when you look at films, say from the 1950s and the 40s, long before we were on this planet, people seem to gather around a piano and have a sing and laugh and joke and things like that. That seems to be missing now from society.
That's what we're bringing that back now in our group.
We had a Christmas party on Wednesday, and it's on Rumble. So, we had poetry, we had jokes, we had people singing. And anyway, I've put it all together, and it's on Rumble. It's on Mew Waters, MEW Waters, my Rumble channel. And honestly, it's so funny.
Well, if you put in the comment section below,
jokes.
Could you put in the comment section below, because I'm not allowed, I can't put links down because of these psychos at YouTube. So if you could put, normally I'll put a link down, but I can put a link actually in my BitChute channel and the other channels. So I'll put a link. Tell me what the links are.
Yeah.
So you go please go over to my BitChute channel. Okay.
Yeah. Right. I think because over the last 3 years, when we've had so many parties and get-togethers with people, and we've stopped watching the telly, we've started being more creative. So we've got a lot of people who play the guitar and
Oh yeah.
sing, and we've got poetry, and we've got comedy,
And lots and lots of speakers.
and it's just like it's going back to the old way. I think it's bringing like people back together and entertain each other.
Maybe where you are, not so much down here, because
Oh, well, you'll have to come up here then.
yeah, because I mean, for example, if you're walking along the road where I live, it's semi-rural, and you say, "Good morning." Person looks as if they've just been touched up. They go, "Oh God!" You say, "Good morning." How dare you? I feel so. Oh, it's a very different attitude down here. I've noticed it.
You make friends in Ethiopia.
Oh yeah, I mean, here I've noticed. I'm on the border. You see, get 30 miles outside London, it's a different attitude. It slows down a bit. But if you get 30 miles within London, say over the M25, then there's a very which I don't really go to very often if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
I think it's because the population, there's a higher population down here than up where you are. Up in Newcastle, they're much higher.
Just had a message off John.
Hello, you're frozen. That's it.
He's not watching me.
Right. You just said
says, sorry, love, I'm out.
You've just had a message from John Hamer, and just as you said that,
Don't plug any of
computer
his.
froze, which is because it's in sympathy with John Hamer's computer. You see, there we are. But it's an interesting one.
We're on Essex.
And he says, I've found that some of the most generous people are the ones with the least. It seems the more money people have, the less they get. And that reminds me of a book that I read many, many years ago, and I can't even remember the title. And it was amazing. A bloke he worked for Ford's, screwing wheel nuts on or whatever, making cars. And he saved up his money. He decided to cycle around the world and then write a book about it. And he said that in the poorest countries, I think it was somewhere, either Bangladesh or somewhere like that, he had the 2 bob bits, he's quite ill. And he was taken away to hospital and he left his bike on the side. And it's a very poor area. And he never expected to see it again. And when he went back there, the bike had not only been cleaned, but someone had pumped his tyres up as well. It was left. And he said they're the kindest people. But he went to Hollywood. He was mugged 3 times, and people were stepping over him in the streets. Couldn't give a damn.
Our Trusika Christmas party on Wednesday night. We raised money. There's this guy we know, and he used to be homeless, and he turned his life round, and he's going to be on the One show in the new year. But anyway, he wanted to help children buy presents for children in care homes. So anyway, whatever we did on Wednesday night, we just, we had a tombola, we had mince pies and mulled wine, and whatever we raised on Wednesday, we give to him. So we raised £100 for kids in care.
Oh, that's
Christmas presents for kids in care.
But I think sometimes, you get children that's got narcissistic parents or a narcissistic parent, and that can be very devastating because they talk about child abuse and they normally talk about sexual abuse, but they don't talk about psychological abuse, where a child is psychologically abused because the narcissist parent wants to show priority all the time, and they can't come to terms when the child grows older. And that is something that is a big, well, it's not going to say it's a big problem, it's a problem that's very much overlooked. So the child grows up very confused and stressed out, and that is the thing. It's a big thing. But another interesting one here. This is from Stephen Truthseeker. Feathers and new coins for angels. Yes, I get feathers. I get loads of white feathers everywhere. It's do you find you get white feathers around?
Yeah.
Shall I tell you a story about a feather?
Yes, please.
Well, my friend, he was only 29 and he took his own life in 2020.
Oh no.
July. It was the day the masks become mandatory in the shops.
Yeah.
So when we went to his funeral, it was when only so many people could go into the church.
Mhm.
So I was outside the church
I was in.
and I could hear the service, and as the ready suicide note out. And the last words on the suicide note was, I will be in touch. And at that moment, a white feather come right down in front of us and landed on the ground. So I picked it up and I put it in my pocket, and I thought, oh, that's off Craig. I'm going to keep that. And I thought, I'll keep that feather forever, and I'll think of Craig. And later on that day, I put my hand in my pocket, and the feather blew away. And I was gutted because I thought, oh, I've lost his feather. So later on that night, a male friend said to us, it wasn't something I would have expected him to say, actually, but I said to him, oh, I'm really upset I've lost Craig's feather. It was definitely a sign of him because it come down at the time she read his note down. And he said, oh, but John, that feather's now went on to give somebody else a sign. And like I felt better, and I thought Craig would have loved that because Craig was a spiritualist. And I thought that
He
would
was a good medium.
and he was an excellent medium. He was fantastic, and I thought he wouldn't have wanted us to hang on to it. He'd be so happy that somebody else was getting a sign from the same, from the feather again. And I think it's just all about perspective.
I think you're right. The story I heard, though, and I know this, it was some friends of my parents and sister. This friend of my sister, her mother, her husband died, and he made clocks, and he had a clock that was like a dog, and its eyes went round, and one eye was it's a model dog, I hasten to add, not a real one. One eye was the hour, and the other eye was the minutes. So as it went round the day, it's a bit weird. It was sort of, like 12 o'clock, one eye would be looking up and the other eye would be looking up, and it sort of gradually moved round, you see. But anyway, what happened, this chap passed away, and this clock kept going, and it stopped at the exact time that he had died.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept stopping at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And she took it to a professional watchmaker, and he went through it, took it to bits, cleaned it, put it back together again, and it still did it. And it was backwards. That's really weird. The exact time he died.
Mm.
And that is a very odd thing. That is a 1,000,000 to 1 chance it would be that exact time.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think a quarter of an hour afterwards, maybe half an hour. No.
We've had so many signs, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've done loads of, we've done table tilting, we've done the spirit board, we've some really good mediums and everything, haven't we?
I'm going to write a book about the Ouija board, about why people are frightened of it.
I am.
Well, I want to interview you for my book then, because I want to know why people are scared of it and where the fears come from.
Because I've seen a séance.
So you need to email us with your story, because that'll go in the book.
Well, I saw it when I was a kid. I saw it twice. It happened twice, and it absolutely scared the living shit out of me. It really did. And it was performed by some. They were Cockneys. These children had been moved out of the East End, and they moved out of London, and they knew, because the Cockneys, the real ones, they were kind of from India, I believe, originally. They like gypsies, very similar, they had their own sort of culture. And they did this séance when I was at school, and it scared me. And the teacher was a seer, and she stopped it in the end. And it was very frightening what I saw. And I was only about 11 at the time, 10 or 11. It really did bother me. But I do believe there are definitely spirits out there. And I believe that we went into this on one of our shows where there are actually demons out there. And I believe that Ouija board, you've got to be very careful, because you can invite them in. And I think a lot of it's to do with your intent. I think if
you're doing it for mischievous reasons,
the Ouija board's just a tool, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yes, a little bit.
We've never never had anything.
We've
bad.
never had anything bad come through.
But we always did a prayer and we always asked protection, and so
we've done it with mediums.
We had good people.
Oh yeah.
Well, sorry, I shouldn't really mention this, but I went to a séance and the medium started laughing, so I hit her because I always like to strike a happy medium. Sorry. I don't understand this one. It says here, we've been seeing triple numbers.
Yeah.
We have always tried to help people to people. I think that should be 2. It builds the community. Yes, that's why I don't believe in government. I think we could do quite all right because civil servants run the country, not governments. So that's another. Now, but if we ask the universe, this is Alexander, sorry. If we ask the universe to ask everything, even Dominic,
you can't win the lottery.
Spirits who will gift you as they are aiding you, because all they want is your soul. So yes, you can win the lottery.
Our intention is what we do with that.
Right.
It wouldn't be selfish reasons. We've got a list of who would help it, wouldn't we?
I think also, I mean, you look at perfect examples, Tony Blair. There was a book that was written by what was an ex-friend of his. I can't remember the name. I don't know, but apparently, when you see him in the late 70s, early 80s, he was a completely different person, and he suddenly became, or over a period of time, he became demonic. And this chap, friend, he just became. I mean, you look at him now; he's just sort of. Ugh. But go back, say, 40 years, and you'd have been completely different. And I think it is surprising the environment and people and that can rub off on you. Now we got the site seeing a lot of 333 and 33.
Yeah. Every day I see several number plates with triples.
One of the meanings for 333 is it's time to get balanced.
Whoa, hey, I'm back again. Sorry. Carry on. So it's time to get balanced, yes.
It's time to get balanced. So I think Pete was still saying 333. That's one of the
I seen a 999 this morning.
Oh, well, that's associated with competition.
No.
But with Pete, if he's saying a lot of 333, it's a need to find balance in his life.
Yes, but when you look at things, I mean, I'm very much into numerology, and the most incredible piece of numerology is World War II. It's all 369 all the way through. Didn't 369 all the time. War was declared in September, the 9th month, the 3rd of September, 1939. Mr. H came into power in 1933, and it ended in 1945. 2 4 8 9. It's 9. Adds up to 9. All 369s, all the way. Very, very strange. And, D-Day, 6th of June. But the strange thing is, it's 1944, which adds up to 8. But you don't take the century, you remove the century. It's all according to what kind of numerology you use. But it was 6:30. They went in 6/3 on the 6th of June, and it's due to be the 5th of June. But they delayed it 24 hours because of bad weather. So these weird things, I do believe. I mean, Barnes Wallis, who was a famous scientist, he was the one that invented the bouncing bomb. He lived his life by numerology. He believed in it. Because we're ruled by numbers, and you find that number plates and things like that. I mean, my uncle bought a car that was a little bit older, and the people at the showroom thought he was bonkers because the number plate, numerology wise, added up correctly, and the other car it didn't. And then you check the engine number as well to see whether it added up.
Oh wow!
They're going,
never thought of doing that.
But no, it's surprising, and also gut feeling. Because part of our brain is in our gut.
Yeah.
And I think our gut feeling is like the angel. I always believe it's like an angel on your shoulder. Your gut feeling is probably right.
Well, the funny thing was, 3 years ago, a lot of people were saying their gut feeling was telling them something wasn't right, what was going on.
Yeah, we've got to be careful now, you know,
But
because we're
yeah, I know, but they still got worse.
yeah,
And you know what? But yeah, but their gut feeling at the beginning was telling them they didn't want it.
yes.
And I
It's
remember a lot of
surprising.
people saying that.
It's surprising how also I believe the subliminal strip is used a lot, which was banned in the, so they say, in the 50s, where they'll put one frame of something into a film where your conscious doesn't see it, but your subconscious does.
Yeah.
For example, they put a frame of hamburger into a film, and then in the intermission, there's queues of people queuing up for hamburgers, and they don't know the reason why. Tasted a hamburger because
Popcorn and
They
drink.
do it in supermarkets, didn't they?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very strange thing. But see, we're ruled by our subconscious as well. We don't realise it. I mean, for example, when you're driving, you're not really thinking about what gear you're in. You're not really thinking about changing gear and when you're braking it. It's your subconscious that's working.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, over to you again. So,
Self-care. So this is about finding time to spend on yourself. So find time to meditate. I don't think people realize how important meditation is, because even if you can only do 5 minutes a day, it's just to calm yourself down and de-stress. U is for understand. So try to, when somebody upsets you, try to understand the position that person's in. It doesn't mean you have to forgive the person for what they've done, but it means you can at least understand why they're the way they are. And I think that's a big thing to learn.
Could give you closure.
Well, it would help you. I mean, you're not always going to forgive people for things, but if you understand why they did what they did, I think it's, if they're in fear of something, or that was their upbringing, and then they've done the same, carrying on the cycle, you have to understand why it's all they know, Universal law. So I don't know if you've watched Mark Passio. Do you know Mark? I love Mark Passio. So I always his lecture on natural law is just probably the best YouTube video you could watch to understand what's going on. Use words wisely, because like we said, words are spells, so use them wisely. And also unlock your potential. And I think the main thing that holds a lot of people back is they don't know what their sense of purpose is. They don't know what they want to do with their life. So what I done was I opened it up to the universe, and I said, I'll say yes to any opportunities. And then I find myself doing comedy and poetry and doing presentations, which I would never thought I would ever do. But that's all because I just said to the universe, right, send us any opportunities and I'll say yes to them. Uncluttered lifestyle. So decluttering your home, but also decluttering your mind. So letting go of things that you've been holding on to. Umpire your own game. So set your own rules and moral codes in life. You decide what's acceptable to you and what's unacceptable. And this is why we clash with people, because people have different rules that they're living their life by. And what's acceptable to you mightn't be unacceptable to me. So it's about finding out what people's moral code is. Unity. When we work together, this is how we're going to
Know who you are.
get through what we're going through now. We can only get through this when we've got a bigger community together. So like our truth seekers, we know for a fact if we needed anything, we put a message out on truth seekers, we'll be inundated with people wanting to help each other. Don't they? They're all lovely. They're all. The last time I moved house, I had loads of them offering to help us move house. That's what we just help each other out.
I moved house 4 years ago,
And
in
they're all
January, and I never had to hire a big van. I just had loads and loads of friends with cars.
We've got a nice group of truth seekers. We've got healers. We've got spiritualists. We've got handymen. So we're all trying and help each other out, and that's what it's about. And that's what we need to try and encourage more.
Yes, but there are a lot of nice people out there. You see, it's very easy to you see all the doom and gloom, and you see all the people getting mugged and robbed and whatever. But they are the minority, because again, what restored my faith a lot is that I mentioned it beforehand. That keep it between yourselves. I've got a smart car. I don't mention it. As I said earlier, because people ask you if you've had a history of mental illness when you say you've got a smart car, and I had a bit of trouble with it, a bit of embarrassing trouble, and I went onto a forum, and the people on this forum were falling over backwards, and there's blokes there that sort of knew the ins and outs of a smart car, and I'm a bit of a DIY sort of person. I always service my own car. And what the problem was, and what it was a strange leak that was coming into the car, and I discovered, thanks to them, that it only happened when I was driving along the road. When I was stationary, it didn't leak. And what it was the back windows were leaking. And as you're driving along, it's sucking on a wet day, sucking all the moisture in, and then you stop and you think, that's funny. It rained last night, and it's dry as a bone in here. And that was a design fault, which I managed to solve using plumber's might around the back of the windows. But this thing I wouldn't have known if I'd have not gone onto this forum. So there are a lot of jolly nice
people want to help each other. It's like YouTube. Some people think, it's the internet's evil and all this. The internet can be good or bad. You can go on YouTube and learn anything you want to learn for free. People are putting videos on trying to help you.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
I like to do a show on top tips, because I'm really into top tips, sort of money saving ideas and things like that. Being a tight-fisted git, I've got to think of those things, like taking big steps to save shoe wear, things like that. And no, it's surprising because you do learn a heck of a lot from there. It's like everything is a double-edged. It can either be good or it can be bad. And was it the yin and the yang? Is it? I think they call it, isn't it? The Chinese, the yin and the yang, or something like that. Yes, it's positive and negative, But
nearly finished. O is for revenge is never the answer.
No. So
Gandhi once said, an eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. And no man heals himself by wounding another. So I always think, just let go of any hurt. What is that? An echo. I've got an echo on the thing. Hobbies for reflection. So basically look back on things and see where you can learn from it, how you can move on from it. Respect yourself, respect other people. If somebody treats you bad and they haven't respected you, then show respect for yourself and say, well, I'm not putting up with that. Yeah, it's what respect yourself and others will respect you.
I like, there was Tony Robbins. He's one of my favourites, and he has a saying. It says, when is it time to draw a line in the sand, not just for others but for yourself? When you say enough's enough. And
you're right. And also, if a person upsets you, they're ruling you. They're controlling you. If a person upsets you, they're controlling you. They're controlling your thoughts, your actions, your feelings.
So don't give them your power.
Correct.
Own your power. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a situation once where my name was literally dragged through the mud. But then I thought, well, hang on a minute, the type of people to believe that I'm not the type of people I really want to know. So really, the favour is being done for me. Something above us is saying those people are not fit for you. Keep away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that was a saviour. I was saved from those people, because if they're prepared to be believed to a load of rubbish, then they're not the sort of people I really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that sometimes you could look at things in a different way. That's the thing. But I think that people, as long as you're truthful, truth will always come through in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to have a good memory if you're truthful.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. But sorry, you're saying, sorry.
Refuse to live in fear. So there's a David Icke quote: "The greatest prison people live in is the fear of what other people think." But I also think again with the news, turn the news off and the telly, because they just want to keep you in fear every day. It's just, I think this morning I put the computer on. There was about 5 different illnesses that could kill you this winter, and you just think, oh God.
Careful.
Keep in fear the whole time. Ride the roller coaster. So life's full of ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. It's like the Ronan Keating song. Sometimes you've just got to ride it. So it's just going along. Some things are out of your control. Razzle Dazzle, that's from Chicago, the musical. Just basically always give your best and set out to impress. Retrain your brain. Have you heard of Marissa Peer?
Oh, I love Marissa Peer.
No, I haven't heard of her, no.
Brilliant. So she talks about retraining your brain. So her YouTube videos are really good. And the final E is for expect the unexpected. So sometimes things happen that you just didn't see coming. And it's just, well, again, it's like the roller coaster, just go with it. Just embrace the changes.
Yeah. We went to see David Icke the other week. Nathan was there, also known as Pete. So was Denise, the other people.
Cat
Wasn't there.
I missed your cards.
But he was in Sedgefield. It was supposed to be Middlesbrough. But Middlesbrough cancelled him at the last minute.
We ended up with Sedgefield.
So we ended up in Sedgefield. But it was fantastic.
Do you like David?
Yes.
Did you hear about his daughter?
Yes, I did hear about it. It's very, very sad. And it must be, I mean, as a neighbour of mine lost her husband and son this year.
Oh.
That's horrendous. And I think that, you know, that life sometimes deals, you think, a very bad hand. But I've found that people that's had the toughest lives are generally the nicest people you could wish to meet, because they appreciate life more. You look at the sport people, but you look at, you know, because you've been through the rapids, everything is a bonus. Everything in life is a bonus. But no, David Icke must be absolutely devastated. You know, she's so young.
I met his daughter once during one of the protests, and obviously David and his sons and his ex-wife. But no, I met Kerry. She was lovely.
Oh, it's sad, isn't it? I think he's got 2 sons, hasn't he? I think he's got 2 sons.
Jamie and Gareth.
That's it. Yes, yes. You don't really. I've not. I don't know if he has I doubt he's got a channel on YouTube, but has he got a channel on Rumble or somewhere?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he has.
Keep a good man down. They find a way of putting him on. This is Roxy.
Hello, Roxy. Ah, Roxy. She must. Does she know the Prime Minister of Fockham Hall? The Prime Minister of Fockham Hall is actually a cat called Roger. See, and he's Prime Minister because apparently lots of officials around the world like Rogering the cat. You see,
Oh.
Rogering the cat. So I don't know why people laugh. It's strange, isn't it? You know,
She was a
Roger.
rescue. She was a cat protection cat.
Oh, indeed. She is. And she's lovely. I love cats. I'm a bit of a cat. I've got a very.
I've got 3 cats: WikiLeaks and WikiLeaks and Tabitha.
And Tabitha.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Tabitha. That's from. Oh, what was that now? There's a famous American comedy, wasn't there?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Tabitha. Tabitha. What was that?
I don't know.
Bedazzled, was it?
Bewitched.
Bewitched. That was the one. Bewitched.
Yeah, she was called Tabitha.
There's something about cats that I find fascinating. I don't know what it is. It's the sort of.
Have you got cats?
No, I haven't got any cats. No. I've only got the only pet I've got is Boris the spider, who lives up there somewhere. And he's sort of saying, but that's the only one I've got, really. You know, I was Eric the pigeon. He comes down and eats all the food off my bird table, so that's it. And a robin, but no, I don't have any pets. You know, so there we go. Oh, I don't know. It's Fred the spider plant, who you can't see.
Yeah.
He's there anyway. You know, but no, cats. I love cats. They really.
Oh, they're lovely, man.
You know, but what is it that after you stroke them, they always lick the human off of them, don't they? Always go.
I'll tell you who really, really loves cats. Andrew Johnson.
Really?
Oh, he loves cats. He's
know
got 2 cats, I think. Mitzi.
And also, they generally are quite healthy cats. They don't need a lot of, according to Deb, because she was a co-host here once. She's coming back actually the new year, and she said that cats don't need a lot of maintenance. They generally look after themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they're very independent. Not like dogs, you see. Oh, there's WikiLeaks.
Would his name WikiLeaks be something to do with little visiting cards? Around the house?
Well, she's my lodger. I was supposed to have her for 2 weeks because my friend moved into another flat, and he said the landlord said you can't have a cat, you can't have pets, and he said just 2 weeks, Maureen, and then I'll sweet talk the landlord. Anyway, landlord said no, and I've had her about 6 years now. So I said you're not getting her back. Not getting her back.
He wanted her back.
But that independence they have, it's a very strange thing. Is my neighbour has a cat round here that keeps doing a whoopsie in my neighbour's front garden, but he never does a whoopsie in my front garden. I don't know why. Strange, isn't it? Is it something he doesn't like about my front garden? I don't know what. It's a nice front garden. I'm not inviting it though, you know. But anyway, Alex. Oh, sorry, we got here. This is an interesting one. The universe, this is H. Alexander. The universe, the realm of demonic beings. I think we've read that one out, haven't we? Yes. Free play. Yes. Sorry, I've read that one out. Now we've got here smiling. Great way to break the ice.
Wiki.
Hello, Wiki. Oh, lovely cat.
She's
you. Oh, a falling cat immediately. Lovely. Oh, how lovely.
There.
Oh, look. Hello. So if you find another cat, you could call that Roger as well, with surname Ring.
Hey, not all girls.
Oh, aren't they? They're all girls. But nowadays they can be gender. What do you call it? Can't they? They be what they want. You see.
Yeah.
So if they think they're a
happy songs.
Yes. Anyway, happy songs like hard rock and heavy metal. Well, Deb and I, when Deb was on here, we used to play German rock as well on here because we both like German rock. Have you heard German rock?
No.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy. What about talking to animals?
Yeah, do what you want. Talk to animals, yes.
That's right. People used to read a lot too. Few read now. I agree. Yes, people used to.
Oh,
that
there's some of that.
Oh, hello. Who's he? She.
Tabitha.
Oh, that's Tabitha the pussycat. Hello, Tabitha.
Lord.
Ah, is it right they say that when they purr, that is actually a kind of
It's a healing
It feels-
frequency. It's a healing
Yes.
frequency, yeah.
because they're at the didgeridoo is very similar, and it is known as a healing stick. People use a.
Mm.
But, we got here Truth and Truth Seeker says I
Oh,
read.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
so do I.
a good comedian reads people. They read the audience.
Well, have you heard of Peter Hyatt?
That name rings a bell.
He
Peter
does
Hart.
his statement analysis.
Yes.
Yes, well, so I'm interested in Peter Hyatt and body language and everything like that. So
He's
I
not
think
the
it's an
backwards
important skill.
Well, you did a presentation on statement.
It's an important skill to be able to read people.
Yes.
Saves you a lot of hassle in the long run if they're an arsehole.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Remember that chap who is it Peter Hyatt, the one? It's not the one that does the backward
He
recording.
done the McCann. With Richard Hall. He done the
Oh, I know the one. American. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
So I'm very into statement analysis.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You come on.
And well, it's all according. Benny Hill did a gag once, where they said the same sentence twice and it meant something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was, "What is this thing called love?" It's, "What is this thing called love?" And then, "What is this thing called love?" Same sentence, but with a comma.
Yeah.
Made all the difference. It's
Yeah.
now it says, oh, hang on, we got trust your gut feeling. Louis
Yeah.
Lawcock.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be straight with you. I've gone against my gut feeling, and it's always,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I say hello to the animals. I do as well.
I do.
Yes. Well, unfortunately, there is a love affair going on, but unfortunately, I have nothing to do with it. My leg has been raped by my neighbour's dog, and it's going to have to go for counselling because it's shaking like anything. This poor innocent leg. So you don't know a leg counsellor, do you? Where I can take my leg along. But it's been raped by my neighbour's dog. So, right, we got. Oh, hello, your neighbour. Nothing to do with.
He's no relative.
There's no way.
No, he's not related. No. Now it says here. Yep, my parents were narcissists.
Oh dear.
Sorry, Stephen, I do know what you're talking about because I have reason to believe one of mine. I think, but we won't go into that. It wasn't my dad. We were great mates.
BBC.
Right. Did someone mention the?
Oh, yeah, when you said
The one show, yeah.
Yeah,
Our friend who was homeless, who's now turned his life round, and he's actually been interviewed by the one show. So it'll be shown in the new year. And he's a bit of he is a poet. He's wrote a book with two other guys, and it was all to raise money for a documentary that he's making called Someone's Daughter, Someone's Son. So I believe it's going to be on at the London Theatre first, and then it is coming up to Newcastle in February.
Because I can't watch the music because I'm allergic to it. It brings me out.
We don't watch it.
Have you seen that? So what was that in the 70s? That bloke used to burst out of his clothing and he turned into a great big monster. But the Incredible Hulk, that's what happens to me when I see the BBC. It's just, I don't know what it is. I get this feeling when I throw a brick at the screen. I don't know why. I always look at dogs first. This is Truth Seeker. When I walk past dog walkers,
I love dogs, but I prefer having cats because they're less mean.
Well,
You know.
With dogs, I couldn't really eat a whole one, but I have to admit that. But again, all the dog owners all turning off in disgust. I'm joking.
yeah.
And remember the old Chinese saying at this time of Christmas, a dog is not just for Christmas. With care, some can be left over for sandwiches in the new year. So
That's horrible.
that is horrible. Again, I'm joking. Usually, usually is a path to black magic. It's a tool of the devil. It cannot be used for any good.
That's why I want to make a book about it, because I want to get people's opinions about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's up to the individual what they do. So, but I think it would make an interesting book, and how media demonized it as well.
Well, I'm open-minded, but obviously I'm very
spiritualists who will. I think the Ouija board's bad, but they'll do the table tilting. So
I just think it's an interesting thing to look at. So
I always think of sorry, carry on. I didn't.
And we recently got into poetry by accident.
Yeah, so every time we go, we try and write a new poem.
Yeah.
Each.
What an adorable face that cat.
Isn't she gorgeous? John Hamer loves this one.
She is beautiful.
He wanted to take over.
Yeah. Well, he was here when I first got her.
No, I always think of the story of the chap, and this is supposed to be true, that died on the operating table, and he drifted up and went through the ceiling, as they say you do, and he looked down on a pub, and then he saw loads of demons queuing, waiting for people to get drugged so they could get into it. And then he pulled back again as they revived him. So that's something I sort of think. I do believe there are demons.
Well, yeah, that might be why, alcohol.
Yeah. That's why they call alcohol spirits, I think.
And they call it the demon drink, don't they?
Yes.
That's interesting, isn't it? The word universe was created by
Bishop. The Universal Church. Yes, interesting. Now,
say hello to Chris.
Hello. I won't say any more about Roger Ring the cat. So I think that's what's upset her. Oh, she's off now. Imagine that. Oh, blimey, Lottery is another Masonic ruse. And I agree with Krista Gardner. I've got to be honest here. Boards terrify me as well, Chris. Yeah, they terrify me as well. Because I know it wasn't a Ouija board, but what I saw with this spiritual thing wasn't the spiritual thing. It was a demonic thing. Terrible as a kid. And now it says here, scam word. And as were the universities, I think that should be. And I think Stephen Truth Seeker says, asked whether it was the Bishop of Bath and Wells. Laugh out loud. Now, this is another interesting one. Dan MC, 3 is the number. And that's why Jimmy Savile repeated everything 3 times, didn't he?
Who did?
Jimmy Savile.
Savile, yeah.
Three's the liar's number.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's a common thing with
liars. They say it 3 times. I never would do that.
There's a lot. There's a lot to the number 3.
It's like old Slick Willie, wasn't it? I did not sleep with that woman. Was her name Monica Lewinsky?
Well, he didn't give her a name. He just said that woman.
No, he said I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Oh, that right. 3's very lucky. That's why
3's very lucky. That's why the Masons use it. It's like, was it in China?
Well, Tesla said 369 was the number of the universe, wasn't it? Everything had 369 in it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now we got here. I was born on a
So
12th.
that's a 3.
That makes me a 3.
All right. So that's a 3. Yeah, 3, 4 is a 12. I was born on the 9th.
Did you
So that's a
really?
3.
Yes.
When's your birthday, Chris?
I'm 4th of May is my.
Oh, may the 4th be with you.
Yes. And also the night of the long knives. That's when a lot of people have done it. Not exactly when I was born, no, many years before I was born, but it's famous for several things. And it was May the 4th be with you, yes.
Oh, my friend Adam, he's the 4th of me, isn't he?
And I think I share it with that. Who's that Dutch actress who snuffed it? What was her name now? Oh dear. She used to act with Gary. Years ago. She was Dutch anyway. Her birthday was on the 4th of May as well. So I can't think of that. Codes of instructions. Intuitive knowing is direct from source. The question I've got to ask you though is, how do we get your book?
Oh, well, this is on Amazon.
Yes.
$4.99, or you can buy the Kindle for 99 pence. Free
99 pence.
Kindle Unlimited.
Yes. 99 pence. That's a bargain. That's a bargain.
Because I didn't do it to make money off it. I've done it so we can get people to raise their vibration and focus on the positive, not focus on the negative anymore.
And don't stick with Mr. In Between. That was the song as well, wasn't it? That was actually a song in the 1940s. Don't put, was it? You want to push out the negative.
Yes.
Positive, and don't stay with Mr. In Between.
Yes.
That was it.
It's showing your age.
No, I wasn't around in the 1940s. No, I assure you I wasn't around in the 1940s. I wasn't even no, that's a disgusting joke I was going to say then, but I won't. I wasn't even an inch in my father's underpants in the 1940s. So there we go. I definitely was not around then. Although modern history is my forte. It's the thing I can waffle on about for as long as you want. I'm a bit like an old diesel engine, you just start me off and I just blah, 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 just sort of vert it all out, Now, it's vertebrae symbology, amongst other stuff. That's Dan MC. That's interesting. And this is an interesting one from Hereditas Get Fucked. I like that name. What is your name? Hereditas Get Fucked. Gut, heart, brain. Yes, you're right. Yes. Now it says here, numbers are of the mind, not nature.
Well,
now that's interesting. Now it says we got here. Hang on, it's gone. Titties. Oh, we are. Like words, they can never be what they refer to. I think this has gone titties up again. No, we're all right. It's going to move. Hang on. Here we go. Oh, we're all right. I would have thought numbers are encoded into nature. Interesting one. And then we got another very interesting one. By conceptual thinking process, not fired experience, there is 214 in nature. Didn't know that. To forgive is divine. It gives us. I 100% agree. Totally agree. And I think that's, again, don't let a person rule you. Just look on it. Oh, well, that's it. People have gone against me and have been tried to be nasty to me. I feel sorry for them in a very strange way. Because what is their life?
Yeah, we've got a lovely friend. She's ever so nice. Everybody loves her, but the rare occasion where somebody's been, and I think it's all jealousy. This friend, she has, when she's heard somebody said something nasty about her, she'll visualize a pink blanket, and she'll just say, send them a pink blanket. So what she means is she'll send them love in her thoughts. So, and you know, she'll often say this, you know, reminisced one day about a friend who had said something nasty about her. And she said, oh, I'll visualize a pink blanket round her and give her some love and hug. And this other friend found out about it and said, tell her to stuff her pink blanket. Stuff her pink.
But I mean, where does revenge get people? It doesn't really get people anywhere, does it?
But when my friend heard about this, she just laughed. She thought it was so funny. You know, she didn't get mad about it. She just...
Well, no, you've got to wish people well, if you know, because there's that saying, hurt people. So you know, it's about understanding what's going on in that person's life, but it doesn't mean you've got to tolerate it. You just wish them well and let them get on with their life, and you get on with yours.
Well, you're right, because let's face it, if a person's got an injured foot or leg or something, you could say, well, look, they've got an injured foot or leg or whatever. You can see that, but you don't know what inner pain that person's going through. It's making them the way they are. And I think, you know, it's like this, what Bob Proctor was saying. We've changed, you have a paradigm shift. You change your view of things. Now, I come from profession is architecture. And what you do is you have to visualize the finished result. Like, for example, if somebody comes to me and they say, well, we've got this complicated staircase, I have to, you know, they talk about this 3D modeling. Well, no, you have to see the 3D model in your head, and then you turn it round, and then you see it. So you're seeing the finished design before it actually goes onto the computer. And that's the thing. And what you do find is, especially with design work and that, I mean, I work from home, but when I was in an office based, people lose their temper very, very quickly because it's a highly stressed environment. So you can be the best of friends, you can shout and holler at each other. Then I don't, I'm a bit more passive, but there are some people that are very fiery. And then at the end of it, you're great friends again, because it's the pressure of the environment. It's the stress of getting something done very, very quickly and to getting over design problems, because sometimes I've always said that the answer to most design problems is so simple, it's embarrassing. And that's usually the thing. Somebody will come up with something that's so simple that nobody else ever thought of, because the closer you are to a problem, the more you can't see the wood from the trees.
Yeah.
So you've got to sit back sometimes and things like that, you know. Now, this is an interesting one. It says, Stephen Trisica, all depends on how you see nature. Yes. Or is your cup full or is it empty? But whilst we're talking about books, there's also John Hamer's books. Do you want me to plug his?
You're not plugging his because he hasn't even had the decency to watch us live. No, go on, you.
Go on, plug it. Yeah.
We've got Behind the Curtain.
We've got
Available on the website.
He's the reason I've got books out in the first place.
Yeah.
And also, you see,
He wrote your first forward, didn't he?
Behind the Curtain. So everything you want to know about curtaining, here it is. I looked in there. There's not a thing. There's nothing about, you know, because did you know the latest? You know, they've got army cutbacks now. So what they're going to do, they're going to have an elite group that goes behind enemy lines, and instead of you to save on bullets, they're going to criticise their curtains. I think that'll be it. And the first rule of war is surprise, and that'll be a surprise, wouldn't it? You know, so you know, you got to hand it to these people. They're very brainy, aren't they? You know, so these two from John Hamer's website, and hopefully he'll be back soon, but on my BitChute channel, not on YouTube, because he said he's peed off with this censorship. And I hope you don't think I was rude tonight. It's not me, it's bloody you. So, you know, and of course,
We think you're lovely, Chris.
I think I'm lovely as well. I think I've fallen in love with your cats.
I know.
Yeah. So don't tell it to my neighbour's dog, because he'd be very upset, you know. Who loves my leg. This is Big Dad's book. This is his small book. That's you can get that if you go to the website warveteran.co.uk. So warveteran.co.uk. But on Amazon, you can buy this book.
The big version.
His main book. If you want to know a different version of history, a true version of history, it's in here. It took 10 years to write, and it's actually on Amazon now. Get it a bit cheaper from there. And the link, I was going to say the link is below, but if you go onto my BitChute channel, you'll find a link onto it. Okay, so that's it. And there we are. And before you ask, surname Powis. No, I'm not Welsh. That's the English spelling. See, so because people say, "Are you Welsh?" No, English. Because if you look at the border, you see the Welsh spelling is YS, and the English one is IS.
Right.
So, and no, my ancestry is a bit German, you see. So there we go. So, all that, all this. So anyway, right. So you've got a book of poems as well.
It
Right.
should be out in January. Rhymes and reflections, laughter, love, and life lessons.
Can I say a poem before you start?
Yeah.
I said it the other week. This is from Spike Milligan's Silly Verse.
Oh, Spike Milligan.
Maverick prowls had rumbling bowels that thundered through the night. It shook the bedrooms all around and gave the folks a fright. The doctor called, he was appalled when through his stethoscope, heard the sound of baying hounds and smelt the artery smell of smoke. Is there a cure? The higher the fewer, the learned doctor said. Then turned poor Maverick upside down and put him on his head. And so, my friends, this is the end, a warning to the few. Beware of quacks till the end, or they'll get rid of you. That was from yes, that was from Silly Verse, Spike Milligan. So whilst kids at school were reading books on Shakespeare and things like that, I was reading Spike Milligan. Anyway, your poetry book. Here we go.
You want a funny one?
Why not? We'll have a funny one.
Right. This one's called Naked Attraction.
Blimey.
While channel hopping late one night, I came upon a shocking sight. There were naked bodies on display. What the hell is this? I heard my partner say. We'd stumbled across a show called Naked Attraction, a dating game with a unique distraction. The contestants stood in their birthday suits, some very confident with their special attributes. Look at the size of her eyes. Never mind that, just look at her thighs. She's got a big pair of feet, but I don't think she's making his heart beat. Turn this shite off, my partner demands. Hell no, the men must be next. I hope they have big hands. So we stick around for the next part. The man stands tall, hoping to meet his next sweetheart. Look at the length of his hair. The girl who has to choose, well, she's called Claire. She eliminates Green, and as he walks off the set, it's a Geordie man who states, "It's cold up there, pet."
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. It's good.
I like that one.
But,
This one's serious. It's very serious. It's called The Missing Twin. I can't get this situation out of my mind. A missing twin, a living horror, so unkind. Where is the missing twin? I've searched everywhere. My partner Gary doesn't seem to care. I'll contact long lost family. They've got form for bringing missing ones home. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I sit on my own and quietly weep. This has gone too far, Gary exclaims. You've lost the plot, he frustratingly screams. To this nonsense I must put a block. For God's sake, Dawn, it's only a sock.
oh. Well, that's and I guess you can get that your book off of, was it?
It's been on Amazon.
No,
It's not out yet. It'll be out for January.
January. Well, I'm open to get my one done over the Christmas holidays, and that is my book on bullshit. And because I believe in looking on bullshit as a kind of art form, and we act like art critics. So if someone's bullshitting you, you sort of go, yes, as if they're putting on a free art show for you, which you normally have to pay good money for. And if you want to know spellings, you look up a dictionary. If you want to know about words, different meanings of words, or sorry, not different meanings, look up thesaurus. But the thing is that there's no book that you can go to as a reference book for bullshit, is there? So this is why I'm going to do hopefully the world's first reference book of bullshit, because it makes the world go around, doesn't it? When you think about it, I mean, where would politics? And also, have you noticed? I've noticed this. Whenever you see these old films, these old crackly films of politicians years ago, why do they always hold their lapel? Well, I believe that. And I think W.C. Fields had the best idea. He hated politicians, bullshit politicians, and he was always on the old juice. And he went down, he stayed in a hotel once, and he was woken up because he was always stoned by a politician just below the balcony of his hotel. So he decided he didn't bother to go to the loo. He decided to urinate all over it. He actually got arrested for it. I think he would have done. But I hate bullshit politicians. He hated them. And so do I don't like them. I mean, couldn't we all think, he's talking about this Bob Proctor and going back to your book, couldn't we all think about governments just going away, just go away, we don't want you, I mean, it's I find them infantile in many ways.
Yeah,
right, there's some interesting stuff in chat here. Now we got here, Sean Neyman says there is an effort to encourage us to embrace the codes and systems the cults use, so we think we have a remedy, but it is all reflection, is that? Reflection, treating an abstraction as if it were real and true. Yes, interesting. And we've got here, there are spiritual contracts. Yes, have you ever seen that film Bedazzled, the original one with Peter Costello? When he says, why didn't you get that pigeon? Because he is the devil. And he said, why didn't you get that pigeon to go and crap on that bloke's head? And he said, you can't do that. It's a vicar. He said, he's one of our boys. Gandhi was paid for by the KGB. Yeah, I think you're right there. Mm-hmm. I know who is the KGB bloke. I'm not sure I'll be able to mention this, but shall we say a lot of these so-called spiritual people of India and Tibet paid for.
I know who you mean.
Now we got here Casbar. Hello, Cas. Wise word. All three of you. That's kind. Well, I don't know. It's three. There's six of us because you've got three cats as well, haven't you?
Just forgot that cats.
Yes.
Should probably link the cats.
Now we've got here Sean Homer. Yes, but unfortunately the psychopaths developed a way to make man pay to live, and it's one of my theories that psychopaths are able to hypnotize people. I really do believe that, because I've been in an office and I've been in situations where they have, where you get a very nice person suddenly changes when a psychopath comes in. They pick up something, they give the atmosphere just changes. They can change atmosphere. Now it says, Sean Hamer says that's just the British monarchy, Holy Roman one world debt contract scam that everyone is complicit in. You cannot pay with a debt only legally purchased, not the same. Yes, I think you're talking about the usury scam. Yes. I better be quiet. Be careful on that one. Well, this is Nathan Lesias. Yes. Dan MC said, "Do what thou willst. We be the whole of the law." Yes. And then we've got here, We got here. I've seen Ike at the Brixton Academy. You poor sod. You've been to Brixton. Used to be a shithole. I know what it's like now. And now we got here. From struggle comes strength. That's right. Because an old saying I've often said is, a calm sea never made a good captain. So you look at the toughest people. Look at the boxers. The best boxers have the toughest sparring partners. Always will do. You know. Now we got here King David. Don't know what that's. I don't know what it's in context with Herodotus, but anyway. Sean Hamer said, "Got to get past the planted gatekeepers. I started out pushing Blavatsky prophecies on Wogan. Most seem to gloss over that. Yes, Blavatsky, wasn't he the bloke that thought that
Helena Blavatsky, wasn't it?
Yes, wasn't he the one that thought that
She
was it? Oh, I don't know about that. Yes. Now we got here. I like the Fibonacci sequence and golden ratio. Do you think it appeals for it? Can't you? I don't know. No false idols. And of course, it was Bewitched who was talking about. Perhaps WikiLeaks might be accused of. Oh, I like that one.
Oh,
I like it. That is a brilliant one. I like that. Now, Mark Anthony, yes, David Icke has a Rumble channel.
oh, good.
Mark, much appreciated. Thanks, mate. Govey Leaks. Yes. Oh, I can actually hear him purring.
That's Roxy. That's Roxy.
Sorry, I'm getting muddled up with my pronouns here. So, do you reckon she's going to actually put a claim in for me insulting her?
You misgendered her.
Misgendered her, yeah. We can't do misgendering her, can we? You know. Because now we got here. Anyone who exalts themselves is on the way to embodying what Antichrist really means. Now, another one is Stephen Trusick, who says, Ike's back on Instagram under ICKONIC, iconic. His old YouTube and Facebook got removed. Yes, that's right. Like probably they're going to do with me because I've got a funny feeling in the new year. That's it. But I actually think that what they're doing is they're misunderstanding these electronic whatever it is misunderstanding our accents.
Yeah,
because they're American. They don't understand accents because they've accused me of things that I haven't said.
I used to post the True Seeker events on YouTube, but then I got 2 strikes, so I'm very careful now. So I just put them on Rumble.
Well, I'm very careful now because the thing is, they say you can appeal. You appeal, and it's always rejected because it's not read by a human being. And you know, my attitude is I thought that was against discrimination. Well, why are they discriminating against me because of my accent? That's, you know, now, and what's this safety? Safety for what? Keeping people safe. Safe from what? You know. Apparently, cats carry a parasite that gets their owners under control.
Roxy, what have you done?
I used to work in an office that overlooked a cafe, and the fattest cat I think I've ever seen. This cat would make, I think it must have got the cat version of Weight Watchers, and it used to sleep in the front window. And you imagine it on a day like it was today. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's all sort of cold. And all the window was all steamed up, and this cat was just, and obviously the cat went through all what was left from the tables. I mean, he could hardly get up. He was so fat. It wasn't good for him, you know. He's bloody happy, though, I think, you know. Now, it says here, Stephen Trusick said, I love cats, but they crack me head up. Yes, I love cats. There's something about cats. Now, it says, fear of a thing is worse than the thing itself. Beware of fear porn, shedding. And yes, I haven't read the last bit out. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're quite right there. Now, it says here, cats are king. Oh, hang on, sorry, I missed one out here. It says, you have power over your mind, not the outside world. Realize this, and you can draw the strength. That's Marcus Aurelius. Yes. Cats are kings, and that's why I think the Egyptians used to worship cats, didn't they? You know. And do you know where the saying "a pig in a poke" comes from?
No.
People thought they were buying a pig, and they used to put a cat in the bag instead.
Oh.
Yes. Ours plays football with tennis balls, is Sean Hamer. 3 at once. It's amazing to watch their agility. Did you know also that a cat, the domestic moggy, is a bigger killer than the African lion? Because, yes, a moggy, once it goes over that threshold, it reverts back to its wild state. And I think it's 80% of the time it gets its kill. An African lion, it's 60%. They're not that efficient. So a domestic moggy is a bigger killer that, sorry, put your finger in its ears. He might get a bit upset, you know. The ladies, you know, lady pussy.
She's a girl.
She, yes, that's it. I'm going to say good night. All great to see you, Ruby. Take care of yourself, darling. I'll be thinking of you. Night, all in chat. Speak soon. Well, night, then, you know. Now, right, let's have a quick look at it. Now, Chihuahuas, and Jack Russells are not real dogs. They are ankle-biting little rats.
How dare you?
You'll have to take Kaz on.
Oh.
Kaz, come on, you can't take that.
Kaz's little dogs are Chihuahua cross Jack Russells.
Well, I actually think
you got the drug dealers.
Little Yorkshire Terriers. I think
I love Yorkshire Terriers.
Rugby footballs, aren't they? An ex-girlfriend had a Yorkshire Terrier that hated me, absolutely hated me, and he was and normally I got on okay with dogs, but I think it was because I was taking the affection away from the dog, you see. And I bought a bone in for it, you know, those play bones, the sort of Vicky biscuit type ones. She said, don't do that, it get even worse. And this bloody thing drove me up the wall like this. And it was one of the most spoiled dogs you could ever wish to see. It was spoiled up to the eyebrows, you see. And one night it was actually hammering it down with rain. I was in the kitchen and the parents and everybody was in the living room. And this thing came into the kitchen. I grabbed hold of it by the back of its neck, opened the door, shoved it outside and closed the door. They said, where's, I can't remember the bleeding name of this thing. Where's Mimi or whatever its name was? I haven't seen it. And somebody goes, outside. It's like a big drowned rat. That little bastard respected me after that. He didn't get, she'd always become good friends with you. I thought, yeah, I know the reason why. Because that's the thing, you've got to show them that you are, they're pack animals, you're the leader of the pack, not them. And the big problem is the family were making it rule them. Wrong, you rule it. And when I shoved it outside, because it never known how to fend for itself, it was standing in a pouring rain, like, I wonder how it got outside. I don't know. All innocent, you know. Now, after school time, outside the local shop, about 20 people were seen it effing shocking. Seen what?
See what?
MC. You're not on the magic mushrooms, are you? Or, you know. I would agree with that. Yeah. By the way, that word is that's another word that they don't like. The YouTube don't like that word. Now it says here, Stephen Drew said, Chris, what about the pink elephants on a battlefield? Ah, you talking about the Angels of Mons? The Angels of Mons. That's an interesting one. Pink elephants on the battlefield. Yes. Oh, you're talking about the American pilots who are stoned out their brains on psychotic stuff. Yes. Anyway, now it says here, Eric von Essex, Tyneside in the house. Good evening, everybody. That's Robert. Hello, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Coming on Christmas Day, so you never know. See?
Are you on Christmas Day?
I'm running. Yeah, I'm broadcasting Christmas Day. Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Who you got on Christmas Day?
Well, we're going to have loads of guests on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So, it's an open house. So
Oh,
people can go off and things like that. So it starts at 8 o'clock. And, I'm going to have my glass of water here, Might even eat a mince pie. You never know. Hello, Robert. Here we are. Now, it says here, there's a craft to any job. Most people barely move the dial. But the ones who really stand out make one stand back, mouth gaping open. Yes, you're right. There's a way you do any job, really, in many ways, And we got here, it says, watch your mate, hope you will. That's it, yes. And we got here, as well. Oh, sorry, he's talking about his health there. Now, what we got here, Sean has a point. The Unum Sanctum was perhaps the first attempt at an audacious asset grab. It's been rinse, recycle, and repeat ever since. Yes. Well, look at the Doomsday Book. The Doomsday Book was a diary of all what the English had so the Normans could nick it. And that's really what it was. It was an inventory. And then we got here, I've got to jump a few here. Now, this is a good one. Where is it? It's going tits up again. Here. Reasoning with YouTube is rather like arguing with a block of wood.
Yeah.
Spot on. I've tried to, and it's a waste of time because I think it's what's they call it, AI or something. It's not a human that looks at it. So you might as well say anything, really. It's just it picks up on certain words. And I really do believe it's my South of England accent that it's picking up on. It's ridiculous. Because other places go far, far deeper than my show and they're not being taken down. How comes I'm being singled out?
Why don't you try talking Geordie?
I could try it.
Do you want to have a bash now?
We'll teach you.
Oh, yep. No, that's a bit...
Oh, yup. Why are you, man?
Aye, man. That's it.
Yeah,
It is.
I got it.
In Geordie, yeah. Do you still wear clogs? Did years ago, Geordies used to wear clogs? I bet you didn't know that. Yes. Right up into the Victorian, Edwardian times, I think, they wore clogs. See? You learn something every time. And also, who built that bloody horrible bridge with the goes over time?
Oh, the Millennium Bridge.
Is that what? No, there's another one. It looks like the same one that's over in Sydney, in Australia.
Oh, the Tyne Bridge.
Yeah, the Tyne Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I could try learning Geordie. That would be an idea, wouldn't it? Mind you. Oh, by the way, I got an embarrassing question here, Chris. How are potatoes doing? Still have nothing from mine. Well, my ones are all right, but there's a few leaves starting to die off. So perhaps it's the time to get them out of the container, because Chris the gardener, we're comparing our potatoes, so he's growing them and I'm growing them. But I'll tell you what is growing well. If you get celery from the supermarket and leave the clump at the bottom, but just cut the stalks off, okay, put it in a jar of water, rainwater preferably, you'll get free celery sprouting. And it actually sprouts from the water. And celery is the easiest to grow. cabbages, I plant that out, and the snails and slugs have it, and that's it, But anyway, I think we've just about covered everything tonight, and we're coming up to time.
It's past my bedtime.
It's past your bedtime. But it's past me bedtime. If I said that right?
What?
I'm trying to speak Geordie. Past me bedtime.
It's past my bedtime.
It's bedtime. Again, my accent must sound absolute crap to you. I mean, does it sound really awful? It's a shit accent I've got. Some people say it's estuary English, and some people say it's Cockney. It's not Cockney. But no, seriously, does it sound crap to you?
No,
it's great.
Really? I know Americans.
I love accents. I love Liverpudlian and Brummie.
Brummie. Well, when I went to school, you see, we had a teacher teaching us French who was a Cockney. So we learned French with a Cockney accent. So you go to France, it was call blimey, s'il vous plaît, and the French, huh? This is bloody hell you're talking. Yes. Now, we got here about my potatoes. Chris, they're ready if the plants are wilting. Carrots from the garden the other day. Set them in September. Oh, that's good, so I can have them Christmas Day. In fact, what I could do, if I remember, I could actually show my potatoes on there. That could be a sort of a thing. Yeah. On Christmas Day, I think I'll have a mass turn off then. Now we're winding down that. Now the thing is, so you can get your books on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Have you got a website at all? We can actually go. I can put a link to it.
I've got a website. Car's set a website up for it, so it's dawnwilkinson.co.uk, and so I've got a YouTube channel, Dawn Wilkinson, which I'm starting to put funny videos on
with our cats.
Talking cat videos and doing me poetry and things like that. And Car's set a YouTube channel up for his Big Cat Banter.
That's a comedy one.
That's me comedy.
Right. Well, I'd normally say there'd be links below here. Mm-hmm. I can't put the links because YouTube, they've stopped me doing it. So I'll put one of my banners up. So I can't actually put any links. I can't even. So thank you to everybody that comments, but I can't answer your comments. YouTube have banned me from answering my comments in my channel. I can't do that. So if you want to send a comment and you want to reply, okay, please either go to my website, fockham-hall-radio.com, or my BitChute channel. Again, I can't do a link below here. They won't let me do it. Odyssey or Rumble channels. But if you want an answer, you want to put a comment on, please see my BitChute channel. And if YouTube haven't taken it down, what I do is they won't let you copy this until the next day, until 10:30 tomorrow morning, and it goes through their censors to see if I've said tit bum or something like that. They don't want to pick up or anything like that. And so after about 10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, this should be up on the BitChute channel if YouTube haven't taken me down. So there we go. So thank you very much, Dawn and Maureen, for joining me, or Maureen and Dawn for joining me this evening.
Just put it in the comments, I think.
What's that?
Our website.
You can do it. I'm not sure I can actually put comments on there. I don't think that.
No, I think I've just put one on.
Yeah, please do. So I say put it in the comments, and you'll get the thing across. As I say, the mind of psychopaths, it never ceases to amaze me, because how anybody had dreamt this idea up that, you stop a person from answering comments and stop putting links on is what that's supposed to do. I do not know. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
I'll be back next week, same time, same place for Christmas special. And there we are. We pull of crackers and things like that.
Put your Christmas jumper on.
Put your people put me Christmas jumper on as well. shitty. It really is. But it is Christmas.
Who you got on next week?
Well, that's what the surprise is. There's loads of invitations going out, and we'll see who turns up. So I'll tell you after the show. Yeah, that's got to be really guessing, isn't it? So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me.
Thank you.
And whilst I'm talking, I've got to find the end thing, which I always forget. Because where is it? There it is, the outro. And all it leaves me to say is, whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh. And remember to please subscribe and put the thumbs up. Thank you very much. And good night. And thank you.
Good night.